Hello, welcome to my home. My name is Lisa, and you've reached my channel about cross stitch, and sometimes quilting or thrifting gets mentioned quite a bit around here. It's one of my joys. If you're new here, welcome, and if you've been here before, I appreciate you coming back and spending some time with me. So let's get going. I have a few things to share with you. It's Wednesday, October 12th, and it's been about a month since my last video, so I guess I should have a ton of things to share with you, but I just have a few things. Time is going very quickly around here, as I'm sure it is in your neck of the woods too. And so, sorry, Marshall just hit the tripod. So anyhow, hope you can sit back and enjoy your stitching and listen to me as I share with you what I've been up to, and hopefully it will inspire you to get some of your stuff out. Okay, so I have some fully finished items and I have some finishes. I have a new start and a finish, actually. I started something and finished it. Wow. And even FFO'd it. So if I don't forget to share it with you, because it's not sitting in front of me. I made a few notes because I'm a little bit more scatterbrained than normal today, so I don't want to leave anything out, and I sure don't want to edit. So if you're new to the channel, I'm usually a one-take wonder. I don't like to edit, and I just try to wing it. So fingers crossed I don't make anything, any really big blunders that I'm going to have to edit. So let's get going. I think I'll start with the fully finished things that I've worked on. So this one is a freebie by Sabrosa, and it's called Pins and Needles. I got it off Pinterest, and I had finished this years ago, I believe. I'm pretty sure it's been years. And I always planned on finishing it onto this little grater and just never got around to it. And so I finally made myself get busy the other day. I just kind of made a messy type of bow and wrapped it around just cardboard because I didn't have any sticky board here at the time. I thought, well, I don't think this is an heirloom, so let's just go with some cardboard. I changed up my colors, but I just love this one. It was such a fun stitch, and so I think I might try to make some more of these. I just think they're so pretty. Of course, I don't remember what colors I used, but I'm sure I could figure it out. So anyway, so that was by Sabrosa. Oh, if you haven't gone on her Etsy store lately, you should check it out. She's got some really pretty ones coming that just came out for fall. Really pretty. Okay. And then for fully finished, I had finished this one, Down in the Valley by Blackbird Design. And I finished this a few months ago, and I had always thought either to make it on a drum or to try to put it on a pedestal. So this was a little candlestick pedestal I just got at the thrift store. I didn't even grunge it up or paint it or distress it or anything. I'm just using it as is. And I just did a circle of cardboard, and then I put a bunch of thicknesses of batting, and I just cut them in circles and graduated it down to, like, I think the top one was, you know, like 3 or 4 that were this size, and then a bigger piece all over the top. And so that kind of gives you your little poofy round. And then I just use a bulb pin with just a couple buttons and a charm. And then to try to hide some of the imperfections, when I gathered it around the cardboard, I just did like a twist of twine to make it thicker. And then I just threw on some thrifted lace. Anyway, so I'm happy with the way that turned out. And now finally I can send that chart off to a friend overseas who I've promised this chart months ago. So it's on its way, almost. It's almost in a card. Okay, so that was my second one. And then I had finished Gobble, and it's by Country Rustic Primitives. Someone had passed this chart along to me. And so I had started it as a mania start a while back on just some Ada that I had coffee tea dyed and grunged up. And all I had was just this one stalk or stem. And so I finally decided I wanted to get something little out to see if I could finish something. And so I just went ahead and pulled this out the other day and finished it up, I think in a couple evenings after work. And so I wasn't sure exactly how I wanted to finish it. So I just pulled a few threads so that I could have it straight. And then I braid the edge. And then just put it on some fabric and wrapped it around some cardboard. And then just threw some buttons on. And now that I look at it from a distance, this one looks like it needs to be moved, but I doubt I'll ever get to that. But anyway, that one was by Country Rustic Primitives. And I look forward to putting that out around Thanksgiving. I'm trying to switch my displays around a little bit more frequently. One, to help me motivate to clean. Because it has to be something decorating related to get me motivated to get the duster out and all that. So I thought, well, yeah, I'm running out of room, but if I change things like every month or so, then I don't know. I think I'll have more variety, and maybe the house will get cleaned a little bit more often, and I still will have the opportunity to make more things because, I mean, I just keep wanting to stitch, but I'm starting to run out of room. So, okay. And then I've never been one to really follow royalty. Yeah, I'm sorry, my nose always starts itching when I get doing these. I've never been one to really follow along and keep an eye on royalty or princesses. You know, you all watch the movies, of course, and dream about being a princess or something, but I've never been one. But whenever the Queen passed away, I don't know, it just felt like one of those moments in history, and I was witnessing it. And so I felt like starting something. And so I just went on Pinterest, and I think I Googled freebie crown cross stitch or something like that. Anyway, this came up, and it is by Samplers and Santas. I've done other freebies by them before. And so I just started this while I was watching some of the funeral coverage. It just seemed like such a moment, and anyway, I think I was along with a lot of people as they were watching that happen. And so I still want to, I'm calling it a finish, but I still want to put her initials down here or around the crown or something. And I think I might try to do another border just to jazz it up a little bit more. But I thought with the crown, I thought this would be a nice sentiment. So, and then I think I'll just finish it as a pillow and just kind of tuck it in with some of my red sampler displays that I long to have. So, okay. So, then I had another finish. I was talking with Jeanette, from Crafty Cottage Stitches, and she was saying that she was going to be starting this one, and it's Where the Bittersweet Blossoms. And so anyway, I was kind of in a rut that day and was excited to start something new, and so I jumped on the bandwagon with her, and anyway, and it went together so fast. I think I stitched on it you know, like on a Sunday, and then a little bit after work. Of course, I changed my colors. It was supposed to be an orange pumpkin, and I just really like those green pumpkins. So I thought, I knew I had this little punch needle pumpkin that I had made a couple years ago, and I thought, oh, I think those would look cute. Of course, I didn't have this right in front of me, and I was thinking that this was close to the same color, but it wasn't. But it's still good enough for me. And so I just found some fabric in my stash, and I put a little bee charm and a couple buttons on a bulb pin. And then I was going through some of my stuff, and I found a little leaf and a little rusty jingle bell. So anyway, so that's how I finished that up. So I was glad that Jeanette motivated me to get busy. I think she's finished hers also, and she's got hers framed in a really pretty white frame. So I was able to get that finished. And that pretty much sums up anything that I've finished or came close to. I thought I might share a previous finish. I love getting this one out. This is Olga's Tart. And this was really early whenever I started. This was maybe like my second or third, I think, piece on 36 count. It was really early on when I came back in. And of course I was using my own colors, and I really disliked the colors that I used on the moon. And then I was off a stitch, a half a stitch. Oh, was that a bummer. And so, and instead of ripping it out, I just thought, oh, it won't be a big deal. Well, it was a big deal because you were off a half a stitch through the whole moon at some point. So anyway, but I still like it. But part of me thinks, oh, maybe I should re-stitch that now that I'm a little bit more versed in stitching on 36 count. And then maybe give that one away, right? Okay, so what to do next? I did work on quite a few different projects, and I got a lot of happy mail. I think I might talk about happy mail next, and then we'll talk about whips. So let's see where to start. I don't remember what order things came in. Maybe I might be able to figure it out. So I had a giveaway a couple videos ago, and Jan was one of the winners, and so she sent me a sweet little card and was saying thanks for that. And then she gave me some Gentle Art Thread pomegranate, really pretty red. It's showing up a little bit brighter. That's real pretty here. So anyway, but that was not necessary, but I thank you, Jan, for sending that my way. Then I also had somebody message me on Instagram asking for my address and saying that she wanted to share with me some project bags that she uses. I believe she gets them from Amazon. And so she sent me a whole bag full. I mean, it was a very generous thing, and I appreciate that. And her name was Maureen, and so I just wanted to thank her for that. And I think my goal for this next week or two is to get back into making cards and sending thank you cards. I used to always send thank you cards, and I used to send cards for everything. Just thinking of you card, or I did that all the time. And now that I don't make cards that much, I just don't think to do it, or I think to do it and I don't get around to doing it. But that's going to be one of my goals, because I've been getting some wonderful things that need some recognition and some thanks, and I need to send cards. So hopefully that will be a goal that I will obtain here quickly. But anyway, so I have, every time I've worked on a project, I've taken it out of the Ziploc bag and put it in one of these nice bags, and it just makes me feel so good. So I just wanted to say thanks for that. Then I had shared another whip that I was working on, and Sherry contacted me and said, hey, I have the little basket that goes in. It was that little honeycomb piece by Blackbird Design. Anyway, she said she had a few of the little baskets and asked me if I wanted one, and so I said sure. And then I just felt so bad. Shipping is so ridiculous. I mean, I think she had to pay like $10 to ship this little thing to me. And so then I felt guilty, thinking, oh my gosh, I should have told her no, I didn't need it. But I'm so happy that I have it. But boy, shipping can be a real bummer lately. Hopefully some of the prices come down and some of the things that we're experiencing, I think, hopefully things will get a little bit better. Then a friend of mine, Darlie, who I've met through this channel, and we text back and forth quite a bit, and we are actually going to be going to StitchCon. Yay! So that's part of my news too. But anyway, she sent me things before, and she sent me a little chart. Isn't it sweet? It's called Boo Brew Tea Room. See if I can get the glare off of it. Here we go. Anyway, a little teapot with a ghost, and she sent me the fabric and the DMC to make it. I thought that was so sweet. So thanks, Darlie. I need to reciprocate some of these things. People are sending me stuff so much, and I need to get busy and make some things. But I appreciate that. I'm looking forward to starting that soon. So, okay. Did I hit all of the? No. So then I had another exciting thing happen. So another friend that I have met through the channel and has commented, I think since day one, her name is Jennifer, and she was coming up from Virginia and was going to be in my neck of the woods, like very close neck of the woods. And she was going to be going to my LNS. And so I was kind of bummed because they were going to be up here on a Friday and Saturday, and I knew I'd have to work. And so I was a little bit bummed, thinking, well, I wouldn't be able to see them. And I knew they were going to be coming to the actual like compound that I work on. There's a flea market and a restaurant and a hardware store all on the same, I guess we should call it campus instead of a compound. Sounds like we're like a cult or something. Anywho, but I knew she was going to be coming to that. And so it was funny. I pulled into work on that Friday, not even thinking about it. And then all of a sudden it just hit me. And that was a day when I had woke up a little bit late, not feeling it, thinking, oh, I'm just going to be going to work and putting a hairnet on, and I'll be in the back kitchen sweating anyway. So I didn't even put makeup on or anything. And so I pulled into the parking lot thinking, oh my gosh, today's the day. What if they come to eat at the kitchen and I have to go out looking the way I do? Thankfully, they didn't come in that day. And actually, I didn't have to go out and into the dining room anyway, which is always embarrassing, because even if you take your hairnet off, it's almost worse, you know, because people think, wow, you went out of the house like that. But if you have a hairnet on, you know, whatever, people realize what's the point. So anyway, gosh, that was a long-winded thing. But I did end up, she texted me and said that she ran into the lady, Patty, that owns the Little Creek Needleworks. She ran into her at Pinecone Gift Shop Fall Gathering. That was the main thing that they were in town for. Her and her two friends, Patty and Vicky. And so, anyway, Patty, she had told Patty, well, I'm looking forward to going to your shop on tomorrow. We're looking forward to going and seeing what we can find. But she's like, well, I'm sorry, we're going to be closed because we're all here. So she offered to open the shop Sunday at 9 o'clock. And so we all got to meet. And so that was so much fun. We went and laughed and looked at things and kind of got acquainted a little bit more. And I got to meet her friends that came up with her. And so it was a very good time. And she was sweet and gave me a gift certificate to the LNS, which was totally not necessary, but I'm excited to go and use it. So I wanted to thank her for that. Thanks, Jen. It was very good meeting you, and I am so glad that I've met so many interesting people through this channel. It's such a blessing. I think that's probably the best part of this whole adventure that this channel has taken me on. I think too, it's been a great thing that it motivates me, because you feel pressure of, okay, I have to create something to share. But meeting the people has just been fun. So while I was there, I did get some thread mainly. There was a couple projects that, like Miss Baxter's house, that I'll share a little bit, that I had misplaced the floss that I used in the border flowers and the leaves. I think I've told this story before. If you're new here, you'll hear that a lot. It'll be like, oh, I can't remember what I used for this, or blah, blah, blah. And so I took a couple pieces with me to figure out some colors. And so I did take those, and I'll share those a little bit because I did work on some of them. And then I purchased a scissor fob while I was there. Patty has really pretty scissor fobs and necklaces if you like that kind of thing. And I just love that jingle. It just makes, I mean, I think rethreading needles and cutting off the ends and weaving them through is probably the least fun thing of stitching. But if you can use scissors and have a pretty fob on it when you have to cut those threads, it makes it more fun. So I picked up a fall one. It had a really pretty gem. It had a little acorn and a leaf, and then I hope you can see that. I don't have my glasses on. It looks kind of blurry. But then a little pumpkin. And it was fun because I like to make these, but I'm not that great at it. I use, I think, too big of jump rings. So it was kind of fun to get this and just examine it and see how I can up my game. I have tons of beads from necklaces that I get at the thrift store. And so I'm anxious to try to make some more of those. Okay, so I did quite a bit of work on Liberty Inn by Plum Street. This was one of the ones that I went to find a color for the house. I had used, it calls for two different whites. One was just, so on the one, anyway, I got quite a bit finished. I had done the one set of flowers here, and I had done partially through the fence, and I think I had done the roof maybe. And so I finished up the fence, and I did the bunting. I did the other flower, because this is the top of the piece. And then I did some of the white stars. So I just needed to figure out what I wanted to use for the house. And so I bought some fancy floss because I wanted it to have variegation. And so I bought Weeks parchment. And so I used that on a gentleman's daughter on the house, and I really liked that for the house. So anyway, I'm anxious to get back to that one. But then I get busy starting new things. So after Jeanette finished the Where Bittersweet Blooms, she was going to be starting a drawn thread piece, and it's called Simply Scary. And so I'm like, well, I could do that one. And so we started that. Actually, I haven't even talked to her to see if she was gonna spritz some of that antiquing stuff on some fabric, and was gonna start it as soon as it dried, I thought. So, but anyway, so I've been working a little bit on that one. Okay, and then probably the thing I've done the most work on is A Quaker Welcome by Leela Studio. I started this quite a ways back and really hadn't picked up much momentum on it. But anyway, I pulled it out this last week. I think it was after I met Jen. She was talking about how she likes or how she loves pineapples, and I remembered this piece had a pineapple, and I thought, oh, I should work on that. And so I did. I finished the blue house, and then worked on the pineapple, and then I just continued my way over. So last night I worked on this salmon color house. So I'm not sure whether I'm going to continue the whole thing down at the bottom. So I have this top alphabet. I have to finish the rest of the alphabet and the numbers. And then I do want to do the lowercase letters. I'm just not sure about this part, but I kind of feel like I think it's something about the black, all black, that's kind of throwing me off. So I think what I'm going to do is just do it in colors. I'll still have the black to tie in the alphabet and stuff with the birds and probably the vase and some things, but I think I'll pull more color in. I kind of did that a little bit at the top because like this motif was all supposed to be black, and this one here was all supposed to be black, and I just pulled in a couple different colors just to jazz it up a little bit. But I'm really enjoying working on that one. And it's been fun. So the other one that I put a little bit of work in, actually, I feel like it might have been quite a bit of work, but I can't remember. I told myself I should watch my last video to see where I was even at, but I didn't do that. This is called the Red House Sampler, and I'm choosing my own colors. I wasn't real fond of that orangey red. Even though it's pretty, it just wasn't the color I was going for. And so I chose to do mine in blue. And so I was able to get actually quite a bit of the house done. I was able to get the little topiaries by where the front door will be. And then I was able to outline the roof. And I was able to pick out the color. I found some fancy floss that I'm going to do for the roof. It's going to be like a taupey gray color to kind of look like slate. And then I was able to do some of the trees up here. But I'm really loving how it's coming along. Those topiaries are so cute. I love topiaries anyway. And to do some in cross stitch was fun. I don't know when I'll ever get this one done though, unless I really get cracking. I'm probably gonna be stitching that one for a long time. That's okay. I'm running out of wall space anyway. Okay, and so this is how I get into trouble. The Post-it note falls off. Anyway, okay, so this one is Miss Baxter's House by Stacy Nash. Love this one. And so this was another one that I had taken with me to Little Creek so that I could pick the colors that I used in the border. So I'm pretty sure that I got something at least close enough to match. But I was able to fill in the doors and the window panes. The window sashings. Anyway, so the house is completely done now. And so now I can just move on to the borders, and I do have to figure out what color I want to make the lady's dress. I'm sure it'll probably be some kind of red, but maybe not. Okay. And I'm putting them back in my nice little project bags. Okay, I did a little bit of work on, what's this called? This is an Abbey Rose design, and it's called Yuletide on Thistle Hill. And so I was able to get a little bit more on it done. I think I finished, what did I do? Oh, I did that middle house. I finished the red house and did some of the snow over and did some trees and then did that taupe color house. And then I think that was like an after work evening stitch. But it doesn't take me long to run out of steam. Okay, and then with it being fall, I thought, oh, I should work on my autumn pieces. So this was Autumn Leaves by Blackbird Design. No, by Prairie Schooler. Blackbird, what in the world? So I think this was a Mania start. I have it on the same fabric that I'm doing Summer Breeze by them. And so I was able to, what was I able to do? I did the letters up top and I came down and I did the little squirrel. I started filling in the background, which is black or a dark brown. And then I just kind of ran out of steam with this one. So I went and started something new, you know, because that's what you do when you run out of steam. You just start something new. Okay. Well, I think that might be my last thing I worked on. Let me take a little look around and I'll be right back. Okay, so yeah, that pretty much sums up the things that I've worked on, which for me, that was quite a bit. So I have gotten my stitchy mojo back, I think, which is good. I needed it to be, because I have way too much stuff to not want to stitch. So I pretty much have my house decorated for fall / Halloween. I kind of did certain areas, like on my front porch, it's kind of more of like a harvest type of thing, with a few jack-o'-lanterns, and then on the back porch, I kind of did some jack-o'-lanterns and some skulls, you know, to kind of lean more towards Halloween. And I kept thinking I could get my 6-foot skeleton out and really do it up, and I've kind of run out of steam. We'll see. But I just have a couple little areas left that I have to finish decorating, and then I think I could put all of the things I didn't get to use back to the basement, and then hopefully I can do a little tour. I'm hoping that maybe that will happen today, but fingers crossed, but I'm not pushing myself too hard at it, so we'll see. It might be a next week thing, but I've got some daydreams and plans about my sewing room that I'm excited about. So, like I mentioned a little while ago, I did get into StitchCon, and I'm going to be sitting with Debbie and Darlie, and so I'm excited about that. And Darlie and I are going to be rooming together, and my friend Loretta is hoping that she will get in. I think she was like 87 or something on the list, and so fingers crossed that she's going to get in, and we can all sit together. But so of course, this being my first retreat, I keep thinking, oh, I think I need to have a cute little a little table area, you know, because you want to represent your cross stitching well, right? So I was kind of toying with that, and I had already been thinking about that for a future retreat that I thought I might someday go on. I thought, well, if I do go, I want to make sure I have a nice little mat and like a little thing to put my orts in and something to put my needles on and blah, blah, blah. You know the drill. So anyway, so me and Loretta have been kind of daydreaming about that a little bit today while we were on the phone before I could get this thing loaded, or before I could get my phone cleared out enough to take a video. So anyway, so I'm kind of excited about that. And I bought some organizational things for my sewing room. So I'm hoping that maybe in the later afternoon I can try to start working on that. I'm not going to pull everything out because I think that will just lead to a bigger mess. I'm just going to try to pick one little area and try to organize it, condense it down, and see if I can make some headway, because my goal is all my tables and surfaces in my sewing room and my craft area where I stamp are just places to pile things. And so I'm hoping that I can have them cleared off, and the only thing on there would be things that I decorate with that will inspire me. So like next to my sewing machine, I want to have a little tier tray that I could put, you know, little doodads that you make. And I want to have a mat to go under my sewing machine. And so I want to try to make that. Excuse me, I'm getting all choked up here. And then there's a wall right behind my sewing machine that just had some plates that my mom had up there. And I'm thinking about moving them to another area that I have blue and white in, and using that space under that shelf for a seasonal wall hanging. So I thought this could motivate me. You know, I always tell myself, oh, I don't have any more wall space, but I do have some. I just need to use it well. And so I thought that would be a good space to just do some seasonal changes. I have the shelf up above that I could put some more little smalls that I finished. So now that I have a plan, I'm all excited, and I want to try to get some of the things organized and maybe underneath the tables in organizers, and see if that will motivate me a little bit more. I usually go with the thought of, oh, I have to leave everything out or I will forget what I have, or I'll forget to use it. Well, that's not necessarily true, because then I just kind of get on sensory overload as soon as I walk in, because I'll see, you know, the little charm packs or whatever, the nice ribbon and all the pretty card stock, and then it's like, oh, what do I do first? And then I don't do anything. So I think if I can just kind of take down the sensory overload a little bit, just take it down a little, and be able to find things right away. But it'll take me like a good half hour just to clear off a space big enough for me to work on, work in. And and I think I just need to fix that. So that is my plan for the next few weeks. Hopefully I can get it done quick. We'll see. I guess to get it done, you have to just start it, right? So hopefully today I'll get a little bit of that done. But anyway, I hope whatever you're doing, I hope is bringing you joy. And if you share anything with me or want to, I'm Lisa Abbey 9137 on Instagram. And so I love to see what people are working on. And that's an easy way for you to just instant message me a picture or whatever of what you're working on. So if you want to do that, I would encourage you to share with me that way. It's fun to get to know people. And I'm going to hop off here and get busy. So I hope you all have a blessed day. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next time.